Alright, so you can see that our current radios are turned to 112.2 out of Paradise, and we are 34.5 miles in to Paradise. We're about 110 miles an hour. We've got nav2 over here set to 109.4, and here's the reason. If we look at our map, and let's load the flight plan so that we can see what's
system test. Okay.
What is happening here. Here's our current flight plan so you can see what's going on. So we're heading to Apples, and we should be in the nav mode, but some reason it's fucking up, so I'm going to go to heading mode and correct that. You can see the purple line here is supposed to be our heading, and I don't know why it's not going to heading, but it's not. We're in VLocate. Yeah, we're picking up the heading now. We're 6 miles out, and that agrees with the 42 miles that it should be, because it's 36.4 right now. And let's tune in to here. And we're going to try to, there we go, with nav mode. And nav is now reading back course of 190. We want it to be reading right there. So that'd be reading 12 degrees, which is approximately right. We're going to edge it to 14. We're going to do the same thing with a heading indicator. Now, when this nav2 comes into the center, because it's tuned to 109.4, and 109.4 is, I will let you see what the nearest 109.4 is, VCV, or Victorville's VOR. And we're coming from Paradise, which is 112.2. As you can see, that's set on nav1, but it's backed up with 109.4 when we get to 42 miles and this crosses over. So we're currently in heading mode right now, and we're going to pause it, and the only reason we're doing that, and let me change this to 109.4, and where's enter? Yeah, I understand. What did, oh, it's set to com mode. There's nav. Oh, there it is. It's already set to 109.4. And we should be coming across here pretty soon. So we're going to be pausing right this moment and come to the explanation, which is right here. Now, we are on a course here of 357. Over here, we're on a course of 014. Okay? Current course. Our intercept for the start of the DME arc is going to be at Apples, which is 1.7 miles when we start out, which at 100 miles an hour is going to be in less than a minute. We will see this completing its turn over here. We'll keep it on heading, and then we were going to change the course over here on our heading based upon a 90-degree intercept with this guy here. That guy will have been tuned to 109.4. Here's why that's important. 1094, if we zoom out a tad, is right there. That is the VOR. And 1094 is the intercept with apples. At that point, we're going to start going along this arc here. And it needs to be a 12.2. You see it says VCV 12.2. But we're not going to be using the GPS. We're going to be using the CDI of the VOR to tune per this explanation. Now, instead of being 012, our course is 3572, our intercept in this case, which is Garza. Notice that he's already on a course of 357. Our two VORs that are involved are basically the same VORs, but it's a HSI. So the HSI is going to be taking the place of this and this into 1 meter. We are currently tuned to the radial of 028 right here. And that is the radial that describes the Garza intercept. Now, two things need to happen. Upon that intercept, we need to make a left turn into the arc. And we need to come from, in this case, 6,000 feet to 5,500. In our case, what we need to do is to come into a situation from, let's zoom in here. We need to come from apples here from 9,000 feet down to 6,600 feet as we are turning left into the arc. Now, if we're going to turn left in the arc, that means if we're going to be in heading mode, we're going to be turning our heading bug that way and eventually coming up to right here. As you can see, we're stepping down from 9,000 to 66. At Bythe, we're going to 52. And after Bythe, we're going to be going to 170 into Victorville. Now, that is 109.4. And that is called the VOR DME runway 17 intercept. The interesting thing is that in actual fact, the ILS approach, the ILS for Victorville is not 109.4. This will take you to the VOR. That will not take you to write down the ILS localizer. The localizer frequency is different. Now, forgetting that for right now, we're going to be going to apples. We are less than a mile away, a mile 0.1, and we're going to be coming into Victorville and turning left after we hit this 089 intercept from 109.4. That's what this guy is all about. As soon as we hit the center here, I'm going to be tuning Nav1 over from 112 from Paradise to 109.4 for this guy here, Victorville, and we're going to be flying the arc at that point. Now, let's go back to the explanation. Instead of flying 112, we're flying 357. We see that on our heading. We have also set the 028 radial over here, right here. Now we're going to come over, since we're already in the heading mode, we're going to set this guy into the Victorville 089 radial right here, and we're going to set that right there. So let's go ahead and set the nav. Since we're in heading mode already, we're going to go now, boom, and we're still in heading mode. I'm going to change the radial to 089, and look, we're almost centered now. Almost. We're going to be going in 10-degree increments. Almost. Notice it says left turn to 001 in 5 seconds. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're coming to 001 there. And I'm switching now. Okay, now I'm going to switch back. Here we go. From 089 to 079, and we're going to adjust the heading for 90 degrees to that. We should be seeing that right here. And we're a little bit inside. We're at 11, so we're going to back out. We're going to come back to the right just a tad. We're going to wait for this guy to center. And as soon as it does, we're going to adjust another 10 degrees to the left. Now notice that we're pretty close in there. We're at 11.1. And now, as soon as this guy gets back to center, we're going to line the heading with 90 degrees to that. But notice we're still at 11.1, and our heading should be a little bit outboard of that. So right now we're going to come to 068. 69, and we're going to adjust as soon as we come outside. Notice we're a little bit close, and now we're a little bit further away. That's fine. 11.3. You can see it is scoped up here. We'll zoom in. 11.4. That's precisely what we want, but what we want is 12.2. So we're actually a mile inside of the arc. 11.5. Notice that our heading is starting to come in. I mean, our bearing on our OBS is starting to come to the center. Once it does, we're going to come left to 059 from 069. And now we're going to start adjusting towards that 90-degree arc. As you can see, we're getting a little closer to it. There's 12.2. And we're going to adjust a little bit further. 12.1. Now we're going to come down to 6,600. And let this guy center. We're at 12.1. Coming down a little bit further to the center, we can see that we're almost on the track over here. Remember, we're not using the GPS. We're using the VOR at this point. All right, we're centered. We're going to come back a little bit further to 049. And that's 12.3. So let's come inside of arc a tad more. There's 12.3. We're shooting for 12.2. That's looking good up here. That's 12.4. Again, we're coming in. Now again, we're going to come down to Bythe here, which let's call up. No, let's fly first. And we're coming down and down. And now we're going to adjust to 049. 039 rather. That's where we were before, is 49. And come in a little bit further here. Now let's go get our charts. And for 11, and here's Victorville right there, and we're supposed to be at 5200 at byte and 6600 from VCV from Apple's 2 byte, so we're good to go there. And now we're going to adjust another 10 degrees from 39 to 29, and we're going to adjust it more to the left. We're getting too far out of the arc. As you can see, we're outside of the arc right now, and we're going to wait till Mr. Nav1 comes in. 12.8, we want it a little bit deeper than that. We want to turn left on a little bit more, in other words. That's too close. And we're going to adjust for, I have to remember to pull down on the center mouse wheel downward to go left. Our speed's a little bit high. And we did adjust it downward. So we'll bring our mixture back a little bit richer and come down here. Alright, there's 12.8. We need to be cutting closer into the west, and we're going to go to 0192009. We're almost at byte. We're going to be coming down to 5200. Nice little zoom in there. And we're at byte. We're coming down to 5200 now. And we're going to do one more incursion there and turn into our inbound course from byte of 170. So here we go. And we're going to adjust Nav1 to reflect the same thing. And we're going to, once we got our wings level, we're going to adjust our gyros, because for some reason the Lancer's gyros tend to get off. Wow, we were 10 degrees off. You just saw it jump, and now it's documented. And we can't really see. It's 9 miles out and we can't really see it. Now, just for grins, I'm going to go to the weather, and I'm going to enable static weather, and we're going to go to fair weather. Now you can see it right there, and we need to come down to 3500 right at this point. And how do we know that? Because here's our chart, and if we look at down here at at uncal we need to go to 4300. That is my mistake, and luckily we didn't get to uncal yet. And now direct track is 070. That's what we've got. And when we get to Uncal, we're going to 3,500. I don't like the loading time here. 2, 3, 4, 5. And Uncal, we're coming to 4,300. And 3,200 in here after Uncal. And we're already there, so we're coming down to 3,200. And we're going to go off to a left, disengaging our autopilot for a moment, and then back again to the right.
Pull up. Pull
Yes, ma'am.
up.
I'll be pulling up in just a second.
Pull up. Pull up.
I'm re-engaging my autopilot.
Pull up. Sync rate. Sync rate.
And activate Miss GPS. Remain unsuspended. And let's go to the replay. Well, not the replay. We're pulling up to 3,500 now. We're going to 300 now, and climbing to 6,000 feet. That's our missed approach. Now that will take us to Ether. Can you see Ether at the top right up here? That's our missed approach, but we're never going to get to Ether for the I-11 test, because it says, and let me zoom back in. Now notice I'm not talking to ATC, because ATC is not even connected. This is more of a tutorial for myself. We are talking about the airspace for Victorville, and we have not left the airspace. You see it described here with this little chunk in the circle around here. This is Class D, if I'm not mistaken. As soon as we get outside of the airspace, yes, we're going to be heading towards Ether, and we would be doing this hold at Ether until ATC brought us back in, but we're not going to be doing that. According to the 11 text, we're just going to get outside of the Victorville airspace. Looks pretty bleak down there, doesn't it? Let's go to real weather again, and we're going to get outside this airspace and then get in touch. So left to 269 in 5 seconds. 269. Here we go. Now notice we're getting outside of the airspace. We're just a little bit shy of getting outside of that airspace. We're right on the border right there, and so technically we could turn around and get in touch with ATC and get the nearest airport lists, and KBC, Southern California Logistics, Victorville Tower, full stop landing.
November 146 Charlie Hotel, 8 miles west to land. November 146 Charlie Hotel, Victorville Tower, enter left downwind, runway 35, altimeter 29902.
Altimeter 29902, enter the left, downwind, runway 356 Charlie Hotel. So we're coming around, And we're right now on a course of 270. We want to be on 35, which is that away. So first of all, let's make that rather radical left turn. Left downwind, so we're going to be coming to the left.
6 Charlie Hotel, did you copy? Flight left, downwind, runway 35, 6 Charlie Hotel.
And let's zoom back out again. Runway 35, left downwind. So we're making left turns, like we'd be talking about left turns with the a hold. And Victorville is about I'm reading let's see, 30, 60, 90, 70 degrees. Let's see what it is. Do we have it set to 109.4? Yeah, we do. Well, anyway, 3.5 is going to be that away. Let's zoom in a little bit. Left downwind for runway 35. So we're going to turn to the left just a little bit more. Am I reading that right? We're going to be coming that up this way. So we're going to come back this way. And we'll see runway 35 ready to go.
Victorville Tower, November 146 Charlie Hotel, for touch and go. November 146
I didn't mean to do that.
Victorville Tower, flight left base, runway 35, altimeter 29092. Take left base, runway 35, 6 Charlie Hotel. Victorville Tower, 6 Charlie Hotel, cancel landing attention. 6 Charlie Hotel, your cancellation is received.
Come back to the left just a little bit. Come back to the nearest airport list and Victorville and full stop
Victorville
landing.
Tower, November 146 Charlie Hotel, 7 miles southwest to land. November 146 Charlie Hotel, Victorville Tower, flight left base, runway 35, altimeter 29092. Take left base, runway 35.
Okay, we're just about on a left base right now. We're coming down to out of 6,000 for about 2,400, and we need to do that right quick.
Hotel, cleared to land, runway 35. Flight left base, runway 35, 6 Charlie Hotel.
And we're going to hang out our speed brakes and cut our speed back a good bit, because we're going way too fast.
Sink rate. Pull up. 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 $500.
Okay, let's come down with some flaps. And a little bit of gear action there. This better be 3.5, or I'm in a world of hurt.